Hi everyone, today I'll talk about JD.com and my shares that I have in JD.com and the position I have in my portfolio, which is a position that I've held since somewhere around late last year. Obviously JD.com has been or was on a big falling knife trend for quite a long time, and then eventually I kind of got to the point where I was like, this stock's now like under $20. I've got to go and buy this stock, and I bought the stock, and yeah, I haven't held it for too long, but I currently sold some of my shares recently on Monday, and I'm going to talk about why I sold them shares and what I'm going to do with them shares. Just two quick points that I'm going to make, and they're on here as well, is that I am actually still bullish on JD.com, and I believe that we're a long-term investment hold, kind of channel on here, and in 1 to 5 years, do I believe that JD.com is still going to go up from this position? I do. So I'm still bullish on it. But the reason why is I was kind of taking some profits, and I still haven't sold all my position. The amount of shares that I sold was about a third of the position I have in JD.com. So I do still hold quite a few shares in JD.com. But like I say, I just kind of took some profit out about 1/3 of my position right there. And I'll talk about the reasons why I did that going forward. So, JD.com, I missed the M off the co, I just realised. So I sold 1/3 of my shares on Monday, as well as on that day I ended up buying some Carnival's Corporation stock and some Alibaba stock, which I've made videos about earlier in the week. Like I say, I'm still bullish on JD.com, don't get me wrong, I still really like the company. I just think it's time to just adjust slightly now that it's back up to the $30 range. Like I say, I was up 50% up on this stock, which is a fair chunk really. Like normally I aim for like a good 30% gains on the stock before I actually end up doing anything with the stock. So it was past my target, it was up 50%, so I thought it's probably about time that I rebalance this out and take some profits off the table. It's always healthy to take some profits off the table and then turn that into some more money somewhere else. As well as that, the stock might end up going down a little bit more from now. We never know what might happen with a China trade deal or the economy. We might see some bad news come out, sends the stock down massive, and then I'll be like, I was 50% up, why didn't I take some profits out of that stock? And I'll be pretty angry with myself. So it's also good to do that for a reason, because we don't know, it could easily go up, but at the same time it could easily go down from here. So it's a smart move just to probably take some profits off that table. And like I say, I was 50% up. These are probably the 4 reasons now why I kind of came to that way of thinking and why I kind of took some profits off that table. And that is, when we look at the stock and we compare it to, say, Alibaba, it's a stock that's making quite a lot of money, billions of pounds. And when we look at like a stock like Alibaba, that's the same again, it's making billions of pounds. We look at Alibaba and they're kind of like now pushing towards like the EPS figures of double digit, 10 plus dollars of EPS earnings. When we look at JD.com, their EPS is actually still under $1, and next year in 2020, it's actually still gonna it might just make the $1 of EPS shares. Right there. So when we look at the amount of profits that JD is actually bringing in compared to someone like Alibaba, it's still quite far behind. And when we think about the company as well that is making all this money and it's still under $1 of EPS at the end of the year, it's kind of a bit like, you're making all that money. Surely we've got to be a little more profitable than that. And down in long term, don't get me wrong, they are reinvesting heavy, and they'll continue to grow, and the profits will continue to grow. It just seems like to me, when we look at Alibaba, and the EPS, it's kind of a little bit behind there. And same again, we're in 2019 now, and we still haven't had a full positive years of earnings, meaning that we haven't got a P ratio. We look at Alibaba, they're trading around at like now a P of something like 27, and that's really dirt cheap when you look at the companies that are growing pretty rapidly, both of them. And you look how diverse Alibaba is, and JD is still not having a P, and Alibaba is at a P of 27, which is insane for a company that's growing revenues of 30%. It kind of says that JD is like a little bit behind the game of Alibaba right now. And you can tell from like what I've said so far that I am a big massive fan of Alibaba. I do like JD, I do like Alibaba, I think they're both great companies. But when we look at Alibaba, I believe they're a little bit more diverse. The revenue is very diverse, but Alibaba is by far like the most profitable company out of both of them. Obviously, it's the #1 player as well. And for me, I feel like JD.com is kind of getting a bit more towards fair value, whereas Alibaba for me is still a company that's like massively behind. And that's the reason why I used to have a bigger position in JD.com. and a smaller position in Alibaba is because I felt like JD.com was massively undervalued at the time. I liked Alibaba more than what JD, but I feel like they're undervalued at $20 for JD.com was like me going like, what? I'm gonna have to buy that. And then I bought that, and then I sold out a bit more profit when I feel like JD.com's getting a bit more to fair value. Now I look at Alibaba and I look at the price and I look at where I think the stock should be, and I'm going, that is so undervalued. Whereas I look at JD.com and I'm looking and going, it's getting a bit more towards fair value now. For me, I look at JD.com and I feel like I can make more profit, more money on. So if I look at Alibaba, I feel like it's massively more undervalued. I feel like I can make more profit on Alibaba at these prices. So that's the one that my money's going into now. And that's just kind of how my thinking's going on. And like I say, overall, I do like Alibaba more than JD.com as well, which obviously doesn't help JD.com. And also, the last point as well is the CEO makes me a little bit more nervous on JD.com. And this is something that can affect the stock, because last time we had some news come out about the CEO, is the stock ended up going down like 10%. And in two different cases, I think now, potentially even three, and we've heard some negative news about the CEO getting into a little bit of trouble. And even though he's never been charged for it, and we should always say, you know, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, for me to get, like, now, for him to be arrested, but never charged, but arrested twice or even three times now for this the same reason, makes me a little bit nervous of, like, you know, one, you know, sometimes there's just people out there that are like that, but two times, three times, it seems to me that you're being in the wrong place at the wrong time for, you know, too often now, that you're making me a little bit nervous. And, you know, if something like that was to happen again, surely it would affect the stock massively as well. And that was one of the reasons why the stock went into a downtrend last time. So for that reason as well, I've always been a little bit nervous on JD.com and holding the amount of shares. But obviously that's not a massive thing, but it's something to consider, because management obviously is important when you are investing into a company. So guys, that's me talking about my JD.com position and me selling about a third of that position and take some profits out. And like I said, that's they've all gone into the Alibaba position that I bought on Monday. And that's what I've done with the profits. I hope you enjoyed me updating you on my JD.com position. And if you are investing in JD or looking into investing into JD.com, or just kind of just track my portfolio and what I'm doing, I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it helped you. If you could give the video a like, subscribe, that'd be amazing. And I'll see you on the next video.